It's Sunday afternoon. I'm at home, and that can only mean one thing. Movie review, motherfuckers. Movie review. So today, we're gonna talk about a movie that's called Speak No Evil. I'm gonna talk about the original one that came out in 2022. Not the one that came out fucking last year, right? I have seen the trailer for that one, so I kind of have an idea, and we might talk a little bit about that at the end. I'm not sure, but we're gonna talk about the original one. So, for those of you who do not know, what happens in this film is that a couple meets another couple in some holiday, and the other couple's like, hey, come meet us someday. And they send them an invite, and they're like, yep, we're gonna come and see you guys. So they go over, turns out it's some remote location with no fucking network and anything, and weird things happen. That's the plot, right? Oh, and by the way, there are gonna be spoilers in this, right? So if someone's like, oh, hey, why are there spoilers? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, alright? I don't give a rat's ass. It's just so weird. People on the internet have made this normal, right? Like, hey, talk about the film for 10 minutes without giving spoilers. Are you retarded? Why am I supposed to do that? Fuck off. Alright? Anyway, the film focuses on the fact that the couple who visits the other couple is actually just a little too nice and arguably very weak because they cannot stand up for themselves even if their child's life is at risk. That's what the point is. The problem I have with this film is that it doesn't make any fucking sense. It literally doesn't make any fucking sense. These characters are some of the stupidest people in the history of this world, and they don't even exist. So that's saying something, motherfuckers. And now I know the director was like, oh hey, that was the point. That was the point. But it just doesn't make any sense. You can show stupid people, right? But the situation was just not realistic. These people were way too stupid because the other couple, the evil couple, knew where they live. How? Because they probably told them at some point. Why? They barely knew each other. Why? So they go over to the evil couple's house for the weekend with their child, and the evil couple obviously has a sinister plan, right? That they're gonna kill them and they're gonna abduct their fucking kid. So why did they not do that immediately? Why did they not do that immediately? Why were they waiting for fucking 3 days and giving them multiple opportunities to leave? The plot kind of made us believe that this is what the evil character wanted to do. He wanted to give him a chance to leave and see what he does. If he doesn't leave, that's when he's gonna fucking do his thing. And that's just nonsensical. That's the worst plot line of all time, motherfucks. I get it, you have a message, but you need to just come up with a better story. You just need to come up with a better story. The message of whatever you're trying to say through the film, that's secondary. The primary thing is the story, which just did not make any sense. And another thing, right, even with the message, it's very tricky with something like this because the idea was that, oh, hey, you did not stand up for yourself, or hey, maybe you were too weak. What people don't realize is that this was a film. A real life depiction would be very different. Maybe I understand this a bit better than other people because I write myself. So I understand. When you are writing a scene where, let's say, there is a bad guy and he wants to hurt the good guy, in a film, you have to ensure that we see the good guy's reaction. For that reason, the bad guy has to take things a little slow. But maybe in real life, the bad guy doesn't give a fuck about the good guy's reaction. So you don't have the time to even process what's going on. In this film, that happened a lot of times. In the final scene, when the bad guy is like, hey, take your clothes off, you can literally see the guy crying. And I'm like, okay, I understand, this is the film, so you have to show the guy's reaction and even the girl's reaction. But in real life, maybe the bad guy doesn't give a fuck. So there are 2 points here. The first one is, hey, don't be too polite, right? Learn how to say no, which is understandable, but a very, very bad plot line to prove that message. The second one is, hey, the guy was just a little too fragile, he could not stand up for himself, and he's a weak dude. Doesn't make any sense. Because here is the thing. In the world that we live in, it's more important to be a smart dude. You have to be a smart dude. The reason I say that is because, let's say you are in a situation, right? You end up being in a situation where you have to fucking stand up for your family and all that. How many times can you really do it, right? What if there are like 10 guys in front of you and you're just one? I don't care how much muscle you got. You're done. So the smart guy will ensure that he never enters a situation like this. That's the thing, motherfucks. That's what this film should have focused on, and I think it did in a way, because it was just completely stupid what the guy was doing, and even the woman, right? Both of them should have never even gone to that place to begin with. If that's the message, I understand, but still, the plotline was just a little too stupid, because I was just wondering, why is the couple, the evil couple, not killing the good couple? What are they waiting for? It just never made any sense to me, you understand? And that's what the problem was. Secondly, so the evil couple also had a kid, right? Which turns out wasn't actually their little kid. And the little kid did not have a tongue. And they were like, hey, this is like some sort of a disability he has. Turns out they cut the little kid's tongue off. And the reason they did that, as per the movie's explanation, was because they didn't want the little kid to fucking tell anybody that, hey, he was fucking kidnapped and this is what happened. Completely stupid. Completely stupid. What the fuck? Can he not write? This film was frustrating. The tension was created very, very well. I will say this. Tension was created very, very well. It's a decent film with a nonsensical plotline. I really hope that they could have worked just a little bit more on the story, and maybe we could have had something that is just flawless, you know? In terms of the American version, I haven't seen the film. I have seen the trailer. I've seen some fucking YouTubers talk about it as well, so I kind of know what happens. It goes on a completely different tangent, and I think the American film is actually focusing a lot more on the guy, right? The good guy who is just basically incompetent. He can't do shit. A lot of those things are not in the European film, right? For example, I don't think, from what I recall, there is no scene where the bad guy is hugging and fucking kissing the good guy's wife, and the good guy is standing there clueless, not understanding what to do. That scene is not there, and there are a bunch of other scenes as well of that nature that are just not there. So I think they over dramatize that a little bit in the American film, and this is coming from a person who hasn't seen the film, mind you, right? So that's just something to keep in mind, and I think that kind of just takes away the purpose, because the fact of the matter is, let's say the guy fucking in the American version, right? Or even in the European version, let's say the guy fucking stands up and he's like, hey, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And he does beat the shit out of him. Let's say he does that. And great, everything goes well. But hypothetically now, let's say there was Brock Lesnar fucking trying to abduct your little kid. How many guys, realistically, right? Real talk, how many guys do you really think can stand up? I mean, you can stand up, but you won't be able to do shit. That's what I'm saying. So the focus, in my opinion, especially if you're trying to tell people fucking what they should be like, should have been on, hey, just fucking develop some brain cells, man. You can't beat everybody in the world, so just develop some brain cells and leave. And I think that is something that the European film did focus on, so I like that. My biggest problem with this film, the European one, I don't give a rat's ass about the American one, is that the plotline was not sensible.